for the company. Mark, pick up the story. That weekend you said to me, I want you to sleep on this idea, okay? And tell me Monday, because if you don't like the idea, you're not going afternoon drive. The idea was Mike and the Mad Dog, and to your credit, now, obviously, after what happened, there was, as I remember, a tremendous amount of opposition to that idea.
There was.
Why the idea? What was you? When did you hatch the idea?
Well, as Jeff said this morning, there's a fine line between genius and insanity. Somewhere in that, between those two lines, was the idea that Pete, and I will not speak badly about Pete. He's no longer with us, but I came to the conclusion that he wasn't going to be in the long-term best interest of the station because he kind of burned every bridge, calling fans, New York fans, all kinds of words, which you now have the right to. You kind of have to earn the right to do that.
Well,
and you don't really
do
that.
No. That's not. You know, I
but
don't really believe
he
in
did.
That. Right.
And it became clear that we needed to have just a great afternoon drive show, and so I wanted to put a team together because I realized that. And at that time, what did we do? 4 hours?
Yep, 3 to 7.
Originally. Did
you doubt you had two guys who were making a name for themselves. Did you doubt the idea? There was so much criticism and so many obstacles and so many people against it. Did you ever doubt your idea?
Oh, yeah. I doubted. I'll tell you when I really doubted it the most was driving home the first day.
Well, it was terrible, yeah. We had a rough day. Yeah.
Terrible is,
Yeah, it's good.
Kind of driving home that first day to New Rochelle, and I was going up the Whitestone Bridge, and I thought, boy, this bridge is really high. And I've really made a career-ending decision here. I couldn't understand a word Chris said. It was like learning, and I think that was true for a lot of people. It was like learning a foreign language. I love him. He's great, but you couldn't understand a word he was saying. So then I thought, oh, now what have I done to this great radio station? It's just the end of that. It's the end of my career. And I thought, well, so if my life insurance is paid up.
Right.
If I do a header off this bridge, that'll be the end of that.
But you stuck with it.
We stuck with it.
And you coached a lot. You had me and you had Dog, and you coached a lot.
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? You guys really caught lightning in a bottle.
And
you guys, as you well know, you worked hard at it.
Oh, we did, as a matter of fact. When did you realize it had clicked? Was it the first book, or was it before that?
It was before that. I can't really pick a time, but the chemistry just, which might not have worked out, as you know,
right.
It just clicked. And there was sort of a time, it wasn't any particular moment, but you guys got comfortable with each other. You got into a rhythm, and it was sort of this magical thing. Who knew it would last nearly 2 decades? You guys affected the lives of almost a whole generation of guys growing up, and then guys and their sons in the car. You became part of the New York fabric, not just sports.
Right.
Guys had a lousy day at work. They were all sports fans, or not even necessarily. They just wanted to hear two guys.
They got in their car and they heard this.
Yeah, it was like.
And there it is, Mark, music to your ears. Dog, welcome. Obviously, people have been waiting for hours to you to join today's festivities. So first, say hello to the man who created the program.
First to you, Mike, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here today, nor would you. So you and I, 20 years.
Yes.
And yes, Mr. Mason,
yes,
who put this baby together and put up with all you and I's foibles for so long. But then he hung in there, and he left. And you and I, 18 years later, still did talk radio.
Wait, my ears hurt already.
Yeah, well, Mark, before you leave us and I chat with Dog, when you think about now, when you hear about, do you feel like a proud papa when you realize that you created what has become an iconic program?
Yeah, Mike, I tell you, through a long and admittedly checkered career, and 14 years at a great radio station like 1010 Wins, you guys are, for me, the thing I'm most proud of.
Well, that's very nice. Thank you.
And I do feel like a a papa, not in the biblical sense.
Well, you know what? You deserve a light of the credit, and you went through, as we know, a lot. And thank you for that. Thank you, because you impacted our lives dramatically. Hey, listen, that afternoon changed my life. It changed Dog's life. And wherever Dog and I go, and I've said this a million times since Dog and I have parted ways, you know, nothing we were ever going to do apart was ever going to equal what we had done together. We all knew that. He knew that. I knew that. There's no reason to even think otherwise. We did something that was special. We understand that, and we are both very proud of it and thankful to you because you created it.
Once in a lifetime. I'll let you guys run. Chris, congratulations.
Thank you, Marky. Good to hear from
on
you
everything you
guys.
did. And Mike, happy anniversary.
Thank you, Mark, very much. Dog, where you been since 08? I've been looking for you.
Well, Federer's in trouble, Mike. He's down 2 sets to 1, 2-2 in the fourth. What do you think I've been doing, for God's sake?
You know, I've been trying to do a show today, Dog. I can't even do it because I have the tennis on and I'm riveted. Why don't you come over and do the play-by-play for me?
I know it, Mike. I put you on yesterday. I saw you with Stern. I could have sworn you'd be doing some Nadal stuff, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that and the Giant. Hey, listen, we're on a Yankee-Giant collision course. I want you to know that. You know that I've been watching. The Giants are going to get to the World Series this year. I'm telling you.
I've been thinking that. I thought
We'll merge the shows for 2 weeks. What do you think?
Oh,
Okay?
we'd have to do something.
We'll talk to
I
Chernoff. We'll merge the shows for if it's a Yankee-Giant World Series, we'll merge the show for 2 weeks. What do you think?
You know what? I thought in 2000 we had it, and then the Mets shocked the hell out of me. And I remember we walked out of the studio after Game 4. You said, "Dog, listen, I know it stinks, but yet we needed the Mets to get to the next round." You were right. I thought that 2 years ago, I thought that you would beat Texas, so I thought the Yankees and Giants had a chance then. But I think the Giants have the best pitching in the National League. The Phillies are bad. That league isn't that good. I think the Giants got a hell of a chance to be there. And, you know, the Yankees pitching staff, I mean, is Rafael Soriano going to get big outs against the Texas Rangers in October? You tell me. You know better than I do.
You know, it's amazing. It's funny. I'm just sitting here listening to you talking. I'm watching all these people, and the people, when the music came on, they all just started smiling. I mean, the people just, you know, it's funny what that song still does to people. You know that? All these years later, you can see these people. They've been waiting all day for the two of us to sit here and talk, and you can hear when the music came on, everybody like rushes in and just listens to the music. It's just funny to watch their reaction.
Yeah, I mean, that's a tribute to the station. I've been listening all day. I heard Smelling at the top. I heard Coughlin was very good. I mean, I heard Classy and Minko. I mean, I heard Jim Lampley. You guys done a great job with it. And you hit it right in the head. I mean, I can sit there and I can make the radio spin all day. You can, you know, you've gotten great ratings. You can do the things that you do. But those 19, 20 years that you and I spent together, that is going to be it's going to be on our tombstone.
No, it is, Dog. That's a scary thought that you're going to be on my tombstone, but you are, which is a scary thought that you're going to be on it. I mean, you know, geez, just don't beat me there by too much. And I don't want to beat you there by too much. So that's the only thing.
Two people who are most upset that when we left a couple of years ago, one was my son Timmy,
right.
who you've always, and the other one was your wife.
My wife, she's still upset. I mean, I'm telling you right now, it was her favorite program. She loved it. How is Timmy the basketball star?
Timmy's not. He's done pretty well. You know, he's on a pretty good. He's on a pretty good Stanford AAU team.
Oh, good.
That they play. You'd be amazed at some of these 13-year-old teams. By the way, you would be. These kids, you know,
they're just tremendous, right?
Oh, tremendous! I mean, you're talking about front line 6'2", 6'3", 6'2",
right.
at 13 years old. I mean, the caliber of play is superb. But I mean, Timmy and Ro are the two people. And listen, you and I have gone. You went through dog date afternoon, and you know, you went through girlfriends. I went through, you know, your
a lot.
situations,
Absolutely,
marriages. I mean,
absolutely.
And I was thinking about it today. I think the three things that were most important for you and I. I thought the first thing was that dog date
afternoon started Mike and the Mad Dog. It got us over the bad period. It actually, and you had to be a good sport about it, and you were. Dog date afternoon started us on a good path. I agree.
No question. That was in the 89 or 90.
Correct. 89.
And we took out cards, and we had a winner, Joanne Farkas, and we went to go see. And you sent me the cats.
Cats.
but you did get me a limousine.
Yeah, I did. That's how you were. God. Where is Joanne Farkas? We should have got her on the show today.
Should have. Out of Queens. Never forget it. And that was also the same time where you and I almost froze to death with Bob Gelb, who almost drunk himself.
Oh, remember that?
At the Giant Eagle game.
Giant Eagle game. Randall Cunningham. Absolutely. Absolutely in the limousine. And I met a guy yesterday who said he drove us that day when I'm at the Newark yesterday at the NBA. The guy says, I drove you and Dog in Anytime limo to the game that that day.
Anytime limo was the limousine service. Unbelievable. Wow.
Absolutely right. So the first one's Dog Day afternoon. What was the second one?
I thought that. I think for you and I, everybody has said it today. Mason just said it. You and I didn't know each other that well. I had gotten there, in and out of Imus. You had gotten there before me. And you thought that you had been doing a show, Mason. Let's try Donald Duck in here. So it took us a little while to get a little rhythm, and I thought that Dog Day afternoon helped.
I think it did. I also thought that Giant Bill's Super Bowl 49-13 was that whole week. Remember that Friday with George Young in the hotel? There must have been thousands of people in that hotel that day. I always think of that year because that was a huge event. That Super Bowl.
Don't forget also we were at that championship game out there in
San Francisco. Remember that? Yep.
And we flew all night to go to
and you were asleep on the floor in the first class, and Dog is lying on the floor between the rows, and the lady says, the stewardess said to me, I'm going to actually, I'm going to have the pilot stop the plane if he doesn't go sit in his seat. And I said, he can't sit in his seat. He's freaking out. You got to let him lie on the floor. He lied on the floor all the way to Cleveland.
And, Bill took it well because I did think it was going to be, I thought the Bills were going to kill the Giants.
You did.
So, I may have been better.
I remember telling Ron Earhart that scored, and he's gone now. I remember telling Ron Earhart, and he was going nuts. He thought it was the greatest thing he ever heard.
49-3, and as it turned out, that was, I agree with you. That was very important that week, and that was our second Super Bowl because we had done the first. We had done the Denver-San Francisco one.
I remember.
I thought was true. I also think the spring of '84. When the Rangers and Knicks,
94.
I know Chernoff mentioned this, he's right. I thought, we had unbelievable ratings that spring.
We did.
I think we had like an 8-8.
Remember in the middle of the night we left Vancouver and went to Houston, and we were in that airport on the floor sleeping in the airport?
Through Seattle. We went to Houston for it was Game 4 of the Rangers, and then went to Houston.
And Dog had to analyze my trip. I'm not only on the trip. The trip's taking me 20 hours, but Dog has to analyze it and say, listen, Mikey, on this part of the plane we'll be on a DC-10, and then Dog had to analyze every. I'd say, Dog, I'll take any plane right now. We can't find a plane. There's no planes in this airport.
We left the third period of that Ranger game. Remember that?
I do.
Because we had to get the last flight to Houston out of Seattle.
And you rooted.
Oh, I rooted for the Rockets.
You rooted for the Rockets just to see a Game 7. I said, what if we lose? You said, don't worry, you'll win Game 7. We stayed in Houston. It was 200 degrees for 3 extra days.
I remember, that was a Sunday, Wednesday.
Yes,
so
I remember it well.
Sunday night, John Starks shut the Knicks out. That was it. He took the 3 to win it.
Yes.
And he didn't give the ball to Ewing. We couldn't believe it.
No, the funniest thing was watching you when Oakley threw the ball out of bounds. You got so mad.
What was it? They were down 2
They were up
with
1 with the ball. Up 1 with the ball.
And he threw the. So I thought that spring was very important.
It was.
You and I should never. We got on the. We were on the parade route.
We should never have gone there. I agree with that.
We should never have done that, but we were wrapped up in it. So I thought that was important.
Yes.
And I think the other one that was very important that I think a lot of people kind of forgot about was the Yankee run in '96.
I agree. The pink Cadillac.
That pink Cadillac, we were on every night until midnight.
Yep.
People don't realize that.
Every night we worked till midnight.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Well, we had millions of dinners at that station, and me, like an idiot, rooted my rear end off of the Orioles. And I actually thought that I thought they'd beat Texas, but I was convinced there was no way they were going to beat the Braves. No, I thought the Brave pitching and the way that series.
And the Braves were killing them. They're killing them.
They got killed in the first 2 games.
Andrew Jones, Pettit getting rocked. They lose 11-0, 12-1. Here is how we spent about 6 years, folks. We'd go to every game together. We'd do the show there. Then we'd sit behind home plate. And early in the game, the Yankees would be losing, and Dog would be giving it to me for like 5 innings, jumping around, dancing. And then the Yankees would come back, and he'd get mad and leave.
Here were the 2 things about it, though. Mike would never get annoyed like my father used to. Mike would never get annoyed when I killed him and the Yankees were in trouble. Because I remember I was cheering like hell when Griffey scored on that base hit by Edgar Martinez.
Oh, yeah. 2 o'clock in the morning.
And then I would always laugh it off when Mike would get the last laugh. So actually, 96, I thought 96 was very important. The fact that the Yankees hadn't won in 18 years. You went to Game 6 that year.
I did.
That was the only one. The only show that we didn't do.
Right, that Saturday night, I actually went with Joel. Joel is here. I just saw him. Now, what I'm going to do, Dog, is sit with me for a minute. I'm going to get a commercial in, and then I'm going to bring in some of the Mike and the Mad Dog producers who,
Oh, God.
I have Gelb here. I have Colin here. Is Malusas here? Malusas is here. I'm going to bring them all in to talk to us. So
I
hold
wanna
on.
hear 'em.
Okay,
Absolutely.
back after this.